What is going on, my gorgeous Gemini gals and gentlemen? I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are fantastic. My name is Yvonne. You might know me as Luna with LT Reads. Today we are here doing your April energy check-in. I have set the intentions of this read for Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, and Venus. If you don't know what your placements are, that's okay. There is a free calculator in the description box down below. You can check that out. And if you find that this reading doesn't resonate, make sure you check your other placements. If you find that it does, I would really appreciate it if you like, share, comment, subscribe, help the message get across to another Gemini who may need it, help my channel grow. And let me know what's going on. Alrighty, without further ado, Gemini, let's begin. I want to use this deck to start. What's going on with my beautiful Gemini babies? Death in reverse. Okay. That's a lot. I will take them though. The Seven of Cups in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse, to the Three of Pentacles, to the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So right off the hop, okay, let's just keep these cards. What's on the bottom of the deck? Seven of Wands in reverse. Let's take these, then we'll clarify them, babe. So with Death in reverse, I was going to mention this before I pulled your cards, and now I'm kicking myself for not doing so. But during your mini meditation and pre-shuffle with your energy, I felt resistance. I felt like there was something that you were having a hard time letting go of, releasing, shifting, or changing from. Okay? That is essentially what death in reverse here means. So we're going to find out exactly what that is. With the Seven of Cups in the reverse here, you may have been stuck fantasizing and ruminating and thinking about whatever this is for a long time, thinking about the what ifs, the this or that. But now it looks like you are, I don't know if you're seeing things clearly or just even more confused. I'm leaning more towards the confused side, and feeling overwhelmed, okay? With the Five of Swords here in reverse, it can represent conflict with another person, putting an end to that or wanting it to stop. It can be a battle of pride and ego where there is a need to win at all costs. In this particular case, Gemini, I feel like it represents inner conflict avoidance. Okay? And again, I'm not exactly sure why, but we will clarify. The Three of Pentacles here, there's a connection, possibly just a friendship. It could be somebody that you work with. If not, then it's just somebody that you simply want to cooperate with at a perfunctory level at the very least. But with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, you may want it to be more, or they may want it to. Flip switch the roles as you see fit. But it looks like there's a lack of an offer coming in, a lack of commitment, and or some kind of insecurity, lack of stability, or emotional immaturity. Okay? So, and the Seven of Wands here on the bottom of the deck is not wanting to fight anymore, not wanting to persevere, kind of feeling like you're at a loss and giving up. Trying, it kind of feels like giving up, putting in effort. So let's see what's up for my beautiful Gemini babies. What's up with these cards? Why is death here in the reverse? Could be dealing with a Scorpio. Why is death here in the reverse for my beautiful Gemini? Justice in reverse. You may not be able to let this go because it feels like something was unfair towards you, Gemini. Like there's a lack of balance here. Possibly a lack of truth or honesty. Not exactly sure. I'm going to clarify that even further. Why is Justice here in reverse, please? You could also be dealing with a Libra. We have the Page of Cups. Okay, this is unraveling. I'm getting two messages from this Gemini. Either there's a small space in your heart that is recognizing that this was unfair to you, but regardless, it's hard for you to let go of it entirely. Or the fact that the person that was offering you this potential offer of love could have been an apology. Either or, take it as you will. It's a different story for each of my Geminis, but it seems like it was like emotionally immature and it wasn't fully founded. Which is rightfully so going to cause you confusion. Seven of Cups in reverse. Show me the Seven of Cups here in reverse, please. The Six of Pentacles in reverse to the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. I think this whole thing just kind of made you wonder where you stood with this person, or what you even want with this person, or where you stand when it comes to relationships as a whole, to be honest, Gemini. Six of Pentacles in reverse, you're sick of a lack of reciprocity, a lack of balance, which is kind of echoed with the Justice in reverse. You don't want to have to be fighting any other third-party energies. You don't want to have to fight for attention, for what you feel like you deserve. I agree. You just want an equal and even sense of give and take. And because you've failed to seemingly receive that here, it feels like, you are kind of breaking off and branching out onto your own. Nine of Pentacles here. I actually really like that for you. Good job. Nine of Pentacles is about stepping into your independence, about working on your finances, your career, your own sense of personal security, and your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth. Okay? So that's cool. With the Five of Swords here in reverse. Why is that here? Thank you. The Devil. Wow. Oof. Okay. You could also be dealing with a Capricorn, but if you're not dealing with another energy, Gemini, this could just be we spoke about how the Five of Swords is about inner conflict avoidance, right? Fighting yourself sometimes maybe on negative things. The Devil can represent a lot of different negative things. It can represent addictions, it can represent negative mindsets, it can represent insecurity, any form of toxicity that you feel is in your life, emotionally, mentally, physically, surrounding you, so on and so forth. Show me more about this Devil here, please. Thank you. The Page of Pentacles in reverse to the Ten of Swords in reverse. Page of Pentacles is here twice now. I think that you're afraid to commit anymore, truly and fully, because of the pain that you've been in the past. Ten of Swords here in reverse to the Death in reverse. The pain that you have gone through has clearly been very difficult to heal from and is still an ongoing process. So that's when we have to stop and ask ourselves, Gemini, when we pull back and moderate ourselves in this independence, this Nine of Pentacles energy, right? It's a very fine wire. It's a delicate balancing act, or juggling act, if you will, because are we doing that out of fear and insecurity because we're afraid to give to new relationships because of how we've been wronged in the past? Or is it coming from a positive place of healing? I'm leaning more towards staying caught in fear, but perhaps calling it a strength or avoiding that inner conflict. Okay? So with this Three of Pentacles, show me that, please. That's interesting. The Four of Swords in reverse. When it comes to this other energy, if there is one, or you know what, I'm just going to say that, like, when it comes to the grand scheme of love in general, you're kind of, it's funny because you're restless when it comes to basic relationships where it's just like cut and dry. Hey, how's it going? Okay, we have to do this all over again. Learn about this person's favorite things. And, you know, I feel like it's very dreadful for you to do that. And given the fact that you're afraid to fully invest in the first place, it's kind of even more of a drag, you know? The Four of Swords in reverse is also like a lack of healing and reflection and rest. So feeling restless, lack of rest, you know. I think that there needs to be a little bit of inner work here, Gemini, and, you know, that's not a bad thing, but, oh, the star, look at that. Calling a spade, although this is tarot, not a spade. The star represents healing, like I was just speaking about. So not only does it represent healing, but it also represents having faith and optimism for the future, okay? The star takes a lot of work to reach for and to achieve. The star is something that is far-reaching and that we have to wish upon. We can't just have it fall into our lap, right? So by sustaining your motivation and your charisma, your enthusiasm for the future, you may find yourself in a better place, in a place where you are feeling more willing to accept love, offers of commitment, and or give a little bit of your time, energy, and investment outwards. For the time being, I think that it's me, myself, and I, and you know what? That's nothing wrong with that. I think it's important, and it's all part of the healing process. How you go about your daily processes, and your mindset, and your thoughts, and all of that is up to you, right? And we can do that in a negative or positive way. And it's not always going to be a consistent negative or positive. We're going to have days where it ebbs and it flows. But so long as you keep your focus in mind, that's the goal, right? Day by day. So, my darling, let's go ahead and pull a little bit of advice for you, because I really liked that reading. I think that even though there's a little bit of difficulty there, I think that you are still holding strong. Maybe a little bit stubborn too, but I mean, that's okay. We can all have that tendency. It's human nature, so long as we can take a step back to gain that self-awareness and, you know, reflect on what we can change, how we can learn, how we can grow, or what we have learned. That's all that matters. Gemini, your advice is the Nine of Swords in reverse. For my Gemini, please, why is the Nine of Swords in reverse here? For their advice? Why? Thank you. The Three of Swords in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really condensed version of the previous reading. But Spirit, the universe, I am encouraging you to try your best to heal from past heartbreak. Any person in the past that has broken your heart, who has deceived, betrayed you, made you feel like you were less than. Obviously, it caused you a lot of pain and it has riddled your heart immensely, to the point where it may have even caused you many a sleepless night with the Nine of Swords here in reverse. It may have caused you, at your deepest of lows, a lot of depression and or anxiety or feelings of lack and sadness. And with the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse, you may have been feeling this ache for a long time. You may have been feeling like, you know, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and like it's always just bad luck for you. You always get caught in these unfortunate situations, and like things are never going to change. It's always just going to be shit over and over and over again. But that is not the case, Gemini. There is so much beauty, and not to be that lame person, but in the power of manifestation and having and projecting positive energy. So as long as you carry that for yourself, I think that is the most important. Of course, it's not going to be happening overnight, but like I said before, little baby steps, right? Let's take a look at this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Four of Swords. Upright, yeah. So in order to break free from this possibly what you feel is like a negative repetitive cycle in your life, It's really important to take the time to heal, rest, and take care of yourself. To contemplate what truly makes you happy and how you can go about preventing pain and hurt in an emotionally healthy way rather than an avoidant or overly protective way. Not to say that it's not important to set boundaries, because of course we all have a certain degree, a certain level of wall that we build, right? But it's about navigating that wall or the moats of our emotional depths with as much grace as we possibly can, and allowing ourselves that forgiveness and gentleness that we give to others. All right. So, Gemini, I think I'm going to close your reading there. I love you so much. I wish you the best of luck. And until we meet again, love and light.